everybody! So today is Sunday, that means it's time for family movie night. And this week I wanted to do a movie about kids, sort of a comedy, and I put on my Twitter 4 different options you could pick from. This was in honor of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, which I have not yet seen because I got a little bit sick. I don't know, I thought it would be fun to talk about one of these kind of movies. So I put the poll up on my Twitter, and you voted for The Sandlot. And this was a real joy for me to review because I really love this movie, and it was really fun for me to revisit it because I hadn't seen it in a while. And this movie on the surface is very simple. It's just about a group of kids playing baseball in their little sandlot. And it could come across as really cloying, like you have in a lot of these movies from the 90s had this collection of kids, and you had like the fat kid and the poor kid, and usually there was one black kid and kind of a thing going on. But in this case, I think they actually do a pretty good job of developing these characters of these boys, and you get to kind of know them a little bit. They're led by this boy named, he's called Smalls, his last name's Scotty, and he is new in town, trying to fit in, and he has this stepdad who is really interesting. He's played by Denis Leary, and you think that he's like a bad guy. You think that he's gonna like beat up the mom or something's gonna happen, I think, at first, but really they don't go that route, which I was glad that they didn't. And it's a little bit more subtle than that. And they play baseball. It's not what I really like, I think, the most about this movie is that they're not on a team. It's not a league. There's no umpire. There's no rules. This is just kids playing. And I feel like that's somewhat of a dying art. These kids practically spend the entire summer alone without parental supervision or care. And what's great about that kind of play, and it's kind of like I said, sort of a dying art, is that you can create your own rules. You can do things your own way, and it's really important, I think, for a kid's mentality, for their emotional health, for their social skills, other things like that, to not only play but to have unstructured play that they're figuring out the rules. That's not part of a class. That's not part of a team. That's not part of, and I love that they show here. And I also like the fact that the kids are pretty reticent at first to accept Smalls, but they do accept him, and I think the way that they sort of interact together feels pretty genuine, feels pretty real. And it says at the end, the people would come, people would go, there would be new members of the group, and that feels authentic to what kids would experience. And I think that a lesser screenplay would have made one sort of a real bully, and would have made, would have just made it way more of a caricature. But these, to me at least, felt like authentic kids. They have this whole story of this prized baseball that prized by the stepdad that is signed by Babe Ruth. And Smalls takes the ball, and they are like playing with it, but it gets hit into the back of this house where there is this dog that they call the Beast. The only flaw, I think, with this movie is that I think that part with the Beast is a little too long. They spend a long time with all these different contraptions and different pulleys and ways they're going to get the ball. That man is James Earl Jones, and he's really not as scary as they think. And there's also one scene with the Beast where that's pretty cheesy, where you have like they're disrupting, running through the whole town, and there's like these people carrying cake, and everything goes everywhere, and that part's pretty cheesy, but it works. I don't care. It's just a really pleasant little movie about a bunch of boys that are playing together and learning together, and it doesn't try to like shove a message down your throat. It's not manipulative. There were a lot of places I think they could have taken it. Like I said, if they had made the stepdad really abusive, or if they had, I think would have made it a lot more sort of manipulative and frustrating, but they don't. And they make softer choices that I think make it feel more genuine. I think a lot of The Christmas Story, I think The Christmas Story is a little bit better personally, because The Christmas Story has the scene with the bully, which just moves me so much. And I do think that The Christmas Story is funnier. It's just an outright comedy, but it does feel somewhat similar, where you have the narration and you have sort of the nostalgic feel to the whole thing that you have with A Christmas Story. And so some people might like this better because this is a little bit gentler and not as caustic sort of, and as sarcastic as A Christmas Story. So, it's whatever you like, but I think that they're both movies that have a really nice heart and really show childhood and the way that we interact with our friends in our childhood, the way that we dream, the way that we think about things, and they allow kids to be kids. And let me know what you think of The Sandlot, and thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.